The year is 1835. A spirit of rebellion stirs in the heart of Texas, a vast land under Mexican rule. For years, tensions have simmered between the Anglo-American settlers, known as Texians, and the Mexican government. Now, these tensions are about to erupt into a fiery struggle for independence, a revolution that will forever shape the destiny of Texas and the North American continent. This is the story of the Texas Revolution, a brutal yet pivotal chapter in American history. It's a tale of courage, sacrifice, and the enduring human desire for self-determination. Over the next few months, a small band of Texians will challenge a powerful empire, their actions echoing through the halls of history. This revolution was about more than just borders on a map. It was about fundamental clashes of culture, governance, and economic interests. The fight for Texas was a fight for freedom, a fight for a new vision of the future. The story of the Texas Revolution is often told as a heroic struggle against tyranny, but it's a complex story with nuances and perspectives that deserve careful consideration. As we delve into this pivotal period, we'll explore the motivations of both sides, the key events that shaped the conflict, and the enduring legacy of the Lone Star Republic. To understand the Texas Revolution, we must first understand the grievances that fueled it. Why did the Texians, many of whom had come to Texas seeking opportunity and a new life, ultimately take up arms against the Mexican government? The answer lies in a complex web of factors that gradually eroded the fragile peace between the settlers and the Mexican authorities. At the heart of the conflict were fundamental differences in governance, culture, and economics. The Texians, largely hailing from the United States, brought with them a deep-seated belief in individual liberty, representative government, and the right to own slaves, a practice increasingly at odds with Mexican law. Cultural differences further widened the divide. The Texians, primarily Protestant and English-speaking, found themselves at odds with the largely Catholic Spanish-speaking Mexican culture. Misunderstandings and mistrust festered, hindering communication and fostering suspicion. Adding fuel to the fire were economic tensions. The Mexican government, eager to populate and develop its northern territories, had initially encouraged Anglo-American immigration to Texas. However, as the Texian population swelled and their economic influence grew, the Mexican government grew increasingly wary. The stage was set for a showdown. As the 1830s dawned, the relationship between the Texians and the Mexican government had become increasingly strained. A series of events, both large and small, further inflamed tensions, pushing the two sides closer to the brink of war. The Texians, many of whom had come to Texas under the promise of self-governance, chafed under what they perceived as increasingly authoritarian rule from Mexico City. The Mexican government, for its part, struggled to maintain control over its vast northern territories and viewed the Texians' demands for greater autonomy with suspicion. A key point of contention was the issue of representation. Texians felt their voices were not adequately heard in the Mexican Congress, where they held a small minority of seats. They argued for greater local control and resented the imposition of laws and policies crafted in distant Mexico City without their input. The issue of slavery further inflamed tensions. Mexico had officially abolished slavery in 1829, but Texians, heavily reliant on slave labor for their cotton plantations, resisted the ban. They viewed Mexico City's attempts to curtail slavery as a direct threat to their way of life and economic prosperity. The arrest of Stephen F. Austin, a prominent Texian leader who had traveled to Mexico City to petition for greater autonomy for Texas, further stoked the flames of rebellion. Austin's arrest, seen by many Texians as a sign of Mexican tyranny, galvanized opposition to the central government and fueled the growing movement for independence. Beyond the political and economic grievances, a deep cultural chasm separated the Anglo-American Texians and the Mexican government. These cultural differences, often subtle but deeply felt, played a significant role in fueling the flames of revolution. The Texians, primarily Protestant and English-speaking, brought with them the values and traditions of the American South. They prized individualism, self-reliance, and democratic ideals. They were also accustomed to a legal system based on English common law, which differed significantly from the Mexican system rooted in Spanish civil law. The Mexican government, in contrast, was steeped in Spanish Catholic traditions and a more centralized, hierarchical approach to governance. The official language was Spanish, and Catholicism was the dominant religion. While Mexico had embraced a republican form of government, it retained elements of its colonial past, including a strong central authority and a powerful military. These cultural differences often led to misunderstandings and mistrust. Language barriers hindered communication, and differing customs and social norms created friction. Texians often viewed Mexican officials as corrupt and inefficient, while Mexican authorities often saw Texians as brash, disrespectful of authority, and unwilling to assimilate into Mexican society. If you like videos like this, please subscribe and click that notification bell. Thanks for watching This and That News.